Greetings and welcome to In Conversation, the show where we get to talk with key role players about the latest developments at our great institution, which is the University of Johannesburg. And today we are going to be talking more about the School of Accounting. And joining me to talk about all this is the director of the School of Accounting, Prof Ben. Prof Ben, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bongani. It's a privilege to be here.
Well, Prof, in recent years, your school has risen to prominence. Could you share some of the key factors that you think are contributing to its popularity amongst the academic community and students?
Thank you, Bongani. I mean, the school consists of the two departments of commercial accounting and accountancy.
Yes.
And the school offers through the departments the full value chain from a certificate program up to a PhD. And it's uniquely placed to service industry, business, and commerce. And I think what distinguishes itself is the quality of the program offerings, the quality of the material, quality of the lecturing, and being in touch with the real world development. So quality programs, market orientated, top academic lecturers that's offering the program. And I think that's what's distinguished the offering. So make it real. And in demand in industry.
From a school perspective, why is a degree in accountancy important, or a diploma? Why is venturing into that field important for students?
I think like any qualification, the quality of the offering, the content, to make sure it's relevant, it's actual, it's topical, and keep in touch with the development in industry in the market. I mean, digitalization, digital acumen, critical thinking, all those are enablers of being a good professional. And accounting is a key part of the business world. It's a key foundation of business to be able to account for the transactions and events and plan business activities. And that's where accounting can play a key role in developing society and developing business. And it is a high in demand qualification.
True.
And I think what's important is that to study at university takes a lot of dedication, effort, but also a lot of sacrifices. So when you study that qualification, you must make sure you're positioned to go out into the market and be in demand. And I think that's what a accounting qualification will give you, employability. And the quality of the qualification will help you to excel. But it's back to the individual as well. And what we do in the school is also to focus on the technical experience, technical expertise, but also to develop the individual.
True, indeed. And looking at the two departments within the school, any proud moments or notable achievements that you've experienced during your tenure?
I think there are so many, and I think the departments should speak to that on their own. But for me, I will speak collectively rather than to single out any one achievement. But for me, it is the one, if you go to the students to see how they develop, to see that they're employable in the market, and also receiving many accolades and rewards from during their studies, but also from business and industry. And in the accounting field, there we are accredited by a number of professional bodies. And to see the recognition that the students get from those professional bodies, and there are many. And then also the accolades that the lecturers receives. And again, there are many. Something that for inter alia stands out is, for example, a Psyche 35 under 35, where we had numerous recipients of that award over the years as category winners and also as overall winners from ex-alumni, from staff, etc. And then, I think something that stands out, but not to single out something, is, for example, the Psyche results. And Psyche is the Institute of Chartered Accountants. It's an independent qualification body, and the results that we have achieved there being a leader in accounting education, but similarly so with the Institute of Internal Auditors, Institute of Accredited Chartered Accountants, ACCA, with CIMA, which is an international accounting body, where our program offerings, our students and our staff are continuously acknowledged for the good work they do. So rather speak rather collectively.
Collectively, yes.
Than to single out one individual award.
Yes.
But
yes.
for us, it's to see that we've got flagship programs that's recognized by industry and that the individuals achieve in it.
Yes, and that recognition of the industry or by the industry, how is the school assisting students in terms of transitioning from the academic world to the professional world?
No, I think it's a very important question because you need to have a sound technical basis that you solid in your grounding when you go into the marketplace. But it's one thing to have a lot of technical knowledge and you can't apply it in the business world. And through our program offerings, we make sure that our students can hit the business world running. Something to focus on is the development of the individual, development of what we spoke about before, your digital acumen, your professional acumen, your ethical stewardship, because an accountant must be, like anybody in the world, an ethical, astute person, that's an ethical leader, but also to be a critical thinker. And something the world is changing, and for the better, where we need to embrace technology and to make sure that our students embrace technology in their studies so they can go to the business world and use that technology. But to prepare them for that is we are very close with commerce, with industry. We are using a lot of case study driven teaching where we simulate the real world and where students can participate in that case studies, which also counts to their academic marks. But through that, they can be exposed to what they will experience in the real world through group work, through using technology, through doing simulations of case studies. And through that, together with the material and the content, you enable somebody to go and see the real world. So when you go out there, you don't have just a technical knowledge, but you can transition so you can hit the world running and start relating to what the experience you've gained practically during your studies.
Indeed. The world is evolving, particularly on technological aspects, the digital era. I think in every department or field, it has been impacted by this evolution. What are the adjustments or what technological implementations that you have implemented in terms of assisting students?
I mean, bringing technology into the program offering.
Yes.
In any one of your fields of study, whether it's accounting, whether it's auditing, whether it's financial management, to bring technology as part of that offering and see how you can use technology to work smarter, to analyze data better, and to use it also to better what you do. So I think what's important is not to be afraid of technology and embrace technology. Technology won't replace accountants. It's going to make accountants working faster and smarter and being in more demand. So as part of the program offering, technology is embedded in the program offering. So you will use various technology tools to help during your studies to analyze data, to predict data, to summarize data. So it's not just using Word to do a case study. It is bringing it in during your various years of studies to understand what technology means, to understand how you can be a manager of technology, but also to know how you can apply technology in your day-to-day job. And that we bring in, embrace it in the classroom teaching, in your material, and also in the group work. And we've also brought in specific subjects, like 4R in accounting, for example, that makes technology real for students as part of a specific module in the program offering. But besides that, it should be embedded in every subject, in every module, in every class. Because you can't remove technology these days from what we do. So it's to make our students astute thinkers and enablers of technology in whatever subject field they do. And that's that, embed that thinking, that understanding, but then also giving them the tools by using it in the classroom and the teaching.
And indeed. Well, speaking on technology, it has made the world a village. It's a global village now. So we are interconnected. How does then the school foster international perspective among students in preparing them for a diverse and dynamic professional world?
I mean, we're fortunate in our field. Accounting is it's a global subject.
Yes.
But all the accounting bodies that we spoke about earlier that our students can be affiliated with and go and registered and get professional certification from are internationally recognized.
Yes.
So our programs are continuously benchmarked against the international standards.
Yes.
And it's a global world. So getting the professional accreditation qualifications open up the world, and our students can go overseas and get experience working for international companies. But as I always say, they must go, they must get that international experience, they must better themselves, enrich their thinking, their understanding, but then become a world traveler, but come back to South Africa and make this country work. Because we've got the best students, the best alumni, the best brains in this country, but we need them to stay here as well and make the country work. But go and get the experience for a couple of months, even maybe a year or two. But I always plead with our students, which are leaders in their field, to come back and put all that knowledge they've gained during their years of study in practical experience and come back and make the country work.
Yeah, well, home should be where the heart is. Yeah. Should develop this country. Well, Prof, we're almost at the end of our interview. I would like to open up the platform maybe for a question that I did not ask or any message that you'd like to convey.
I just want to emphasize that in the School of Accounting, again through the departments, Department of Accountancy, Department of Commercial Accounting, where Prof Ahmed is the HOD and Ms. Kuzwayo is the HOD at Commercial Accounting. Through the great work they do there, is we care deeply about our students in the school, about their well-being, caring deeply about who they are, what they do, but also to make sure that they get the best academic grounding to make them a well-rounded professional to when they go to the world of work, so they can be in demand, they can be graduates that walk into the world of work, being employed and excel in what they do. But also making a societal impact, which is very important for us, is to make sure that what we do is meaningful and impactful, making sure we get the best academic results from our students, but look at it individual, and being leaders in the field. So we like to refer to the School of Accounting as being leaders in the accounting field and being recognized by our peers as a leader setting the standard for academic excellence, but also caring about the individual, the person, the student, who they are, and not just being a number in the classroom.
Yes. Amazing, amazing. And lastly, you touched on ethics. I think usually ethics are intertwined with the field of accounting. What advice would you give to students in preparing them for ethical dilemmas that they may encounter in their future careers?
I think ethics must be embedded in as part of your DNA. And ethics is doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I mean, you must always have an ethical compass and saying, is what I'm doing right? Is it legal? Is it ethical? Is it meaningful? And is it the right thing to do? So you, in everyday life, a student, a staff, any human being will be confronted with ethical dilemmas. And you must stay to the straight and the narrow, and it might not always be the most easy choice to make. But at the end, it will pay off, and it's the right thing to do. So when you go to bed at night, you must be able to sleep sound. You must be able to say, what I've done today, I don't have to worry about what I've done and how I've acted, because I know it's the right thing to do. So ethical conduct is something that whenever you're confronted by something, is to say, am I doing the right thing? Is this in the best interest of society at large, for the individual at large? But is it legal and is it ethical? Because we've seen so many unethical conduct by scrupulous people who are looking at their own self and not the greater good. And in society, but also in the business world, we can't have it. We're the protectors of society at large. We're the watchdogs of the accounting world. And and you need to do what's right, and you need to stay to the close and the narrow path, being ethical. If you're a student and you're studying, and there's a temptation to not be ethical, to maybe say, should I do the work myself, or should I get somebody else to help me with it's not to help me to assist to study, but to help me with my assignments. It's not the right thing to do. Yes. It's embedded with you. We all know what is the right thing to do, is to be legal and to be ethical in what we do. And it must be part of our DNA, and we must foster that in everyday life and strive for it.
Yes. Well, Prof, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Bongani. It was an honor.
Yes. Well, dear viewers, we've came to the end of this episode. You can find out more about the School of Accounting. You can check them on Instagram. It's UJ_accountancy. And this was my conversation with Prof Ben. My name is Bongani. Thank you for joining me.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.